on my way from Oklahoma through Texas, or the panhandle of Texas, and then into New Mexico to do a gravel race. I'm gonna do some short clips here. I hope you enjoy. Hey! Used to run 33s. I'm running 40s for this race. The promoter said that there's some loose gravel and some technical sections and some tricky areas, so I didn't want to be stranded out there. Here's the lodging for the Cimarron Challenge. Flashlight, 1 bed, 2 beds, and you get your own little locker. No TV. Love it. Heading over to race meeting, spaghetti dinner. It's beautiful out here. 70 degrees. Nuevo Mexico. Nuevo Mexico. Muy bonito.
Drop 10 pounds. 36 in Peoria.
Yes.
That's the building that they tore down.
Yes, yes. Good morning, Cimarron Challenge. A little bit of the views back there. We're on the pavement, about another mile. Then we're headed to the gravel. Middle and the Cimarron Challenge, 78 miles. Tough. So we roll out of town. We hit pavement for about 4 miles, and we turn left into this valley, and the gravel was real nice. I mean, it was real soft, and you could just float through it. It was awesome, but you could tell at the end of that valley there was going to be some trouble. So anyway, these guys, 3 guys from New Mexico and a few guys from Tulsa attacked, and I said, well, that's way too early, but there was a guy in a California kit that looked pretty fit, so I kind of followed his group up to the first group, and then the team from Albuquerque launched another guy, and I thought, man, this is early. It's going to be a long day. I got to drink. I got to eat. I got to, just survive, because I think it was tough. It was going to be tough. I knew it was going to be tough. There was a climb on the map that looked pretty serious. It was like a little Alpe d'Huez. It had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It had about 10 switchbacks. So pretty gnarly, and it was really loose gravel, so you could not stand up. It was too steep, and so you had to sit down and just grind. Now, the guy from California had tires that had kind of a ridge in the middle and then some T's, and he could stand up and he could get moving on those things. I mean, we're doing like 6, 7, 8 miles an hour, and he could do 9 or 10, so we kind of let him go, or a couple guys that follow him, and then we kind of roll the top. And anyway, they started attacking me, and I figured out that it was 3 guys from Albuquerque, and the guy from California had just moved to Albuquerque. So I figured out pretty quick that they were going to start attacking me, and what I did is I just hung back about 50 yards and just kind of kept them right there through the hills and the valley. But then we had a headwind started coming in, and so they started working together. So it was 4 against 1, and then I looked back and there's nobody left in that 20-mile marker. So anyway, I kept them within about 50 to 100 yards. When we started the climb, there was a checkpoint. So I grabbed some water there. I kind of, they were probably, 75 seconds. I was counting. And I think they went ahead about 2 minutes, but I could hear them on the hill. I could hear them talking and yelling on the hill. So anyway, there was a really steep part. I had to walk some of it, actually, because I could not get grip. And then when we hit 8,000 feet, my heart rate was crazy. I could listen to it in my ear. It was like boom, boom, boom. I could see it on my handlebars, actually. And so I had to dial it way back. If I had a power meter, I was probably doing under 200 watts up there when we got up to 8,000, 9,000. I think it peaked out at about 9,600. So I just didn't have the oxygen. So I was trying to breathe as hard as I could and blow out. And I got in a little bit of a groove. And I thought, man, I'm going to catch him on the descent. Well, I descended like hell, and I could not see him. But then we started climbing this little hill, and I could hear him. So I thought, okay, I'm close. I'm probably within 2 minutes. But then we hit this real technical Jeep road, and I guess they all flatted. And one had a cramp, had to pull out. One had a flat bad enough that he couldn't fix it. And then the guy in second from California, he had low pressure, but he rode it in. So kudos to him. But it was so technical. It was like a rock garden for miles. I mean, it was just like, man, I wish I would have had like a full suspension mountain bike. That would have been good on that section. I mean, it was like 20 miles, and then, I mean, it was like forever, it seemed like. I mean, hours just ticking by like crazy. And I thought we were going to be done, under 5 hours, but that section there was insane. It was just a really beat up Jeep road, and you couldn't even pedal. So every time I got to a flat or something, I get up out of the saddle and pedal, because I was just like, man, I've been going downhill and just basically just mountain biking for so long. It was like bomb shelter over there by Turkey Mountain. So anyway, went past that. I could see ruts on the road because it started raining while I was in this ridge. It was kind of scary because it was really windy, and a storm started to blow in. So I was like, man, I got to get off this mountain. So I descended down. I mean, it was super scary. I almost actually kind of sort of crashed on the side of this. It was like a crevice, like a big hole, and I kind of misjudged it. So I went right and just kind of fell off the bike to the right. But I got back on, and that was no problem. Now my brakes, I could smell my brakes. Really weird. They're not rubber brakes. They were disc brakes. So I thought, man, should I pour water into these? I have no idea what to do, but I could smell my brakes. It was crazy. So I thought, man, I hope they hold up, because I need them. It was just straight downhill for miles. So anyway, we got to this valley, and I kicked it again. I know I was holding 300 watts there from mile 60 to about mile 70. I had something in the tank, but about 2 miles to go, I didn't have anything left in the tank, so I knew I wasn't going to catch anybody, and I couldn't see him, I couldn't hear him. So anyway, the first guy finished in like 5:50 something. The second guy right around 6 hours, and I was 6:13, so I got third. So that was good. I kept going. It was tough. If I ever do it again, I got to figure something out, because the terrain after mile 50 was just way too rough. So anyway, that's my race report. I was tired. I had to take a nap afterwards. I was trying to get fluids. I was trying to eat. But man, I'm sort of recovered. I'm drinking coffee, and I had to go south. I didn't want to drive through this storm, so I went south and avoided that storm. That was good. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the bike. Bye-bye.